got the wash. Oh. Okay,
Wash.
take two. Coming live from the beautiful city of San Pedro. If you've never been to San Pedro, you should definitely come out and check this
Yes, sir.
city out.
Yes, ma'am.
And we're here. Dubs, one of the more famous ambassadors to the city of San Pedro. It's a beautiful place. It's just off the end of the 110. So you just take the 110, take it straight down, and you can't miss it. Beautiful beaches, good food.
110 south.
110 south.
To the end.
To the end.
Just don't make a right, make a left.
Do not make the right. Okay, so here, this is our second attempt. Our first attempt was very good, but because of me, and I had some technical difficulties, so we're doing it again. So it's the Wash podcast. Everything comes out in the wash. So all kind of intricate pieces of truth always come out in the wash. Just like when you find a quarter in the washing machine, you find an old note, or you find $1. Something always comes out in the wash, man. So that's why it's called the wash.
Nice.
So how you doing today, Dubs?
I'm good. Good?
Good
to see you again since last week.
Oh, man. Hey, have you ever seen the movie The Joker?
I never watched the new one, no.
Man, you have to watch the movie The Joker. It is like my autobiography.
Really?
I hate to say it.
Awesome?
Yeah, it's
your autobiography.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, I said mind. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a... I hope it's not my mind.
No, I said mind. I was like, okay.
I mean, I might... hopefully I don't get like that. But yeah, it's like my autobiography. I won't ruin it for you. Check out The Joker, Joaquin Phoenix. Man, definitely one of the best actors out
Good
there.
Stuff.
Man.
Good stuff.
I saw him. They played Johnny Cash. He's just good actor, man. But I was doing that last night, man. I was bored, man. But so you got the fight coming up. Got the fight.
You talking Roy Jones, Mike Tyson?
Roy Jones, Mike Tyson, and since you're the in-house boxing expert, since you are a professional boxer and everything like that, I thought I would ask you a few questions and stuff like that. Just off the top of what I was thinking, and everything like that. Because
I'm with you.
Off microphone, you had some very good points when I was saying Roy Jones would fight Mike Tyson. You said the next great fight would probably be
Ortiz?
Andy Ruiz, right?
Oh, Ruiz.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Andy Ruiz, yes, would be an excellent fight for Mike Tyson. After this exhibition with Roy Jones, Andy Ruiz, I think, would be a good choice.
Why would you think he'd be a good choice? I mean, I'm an Andy Ruiz fan.
First Mexican heavyweight champion of the world, Andy Ruiz, monster.
Yeah. He's a monster, definitely.
So the bottom line is, he's got skills. I mean, the guy could fight. He's been fighting for a long time. Had a great amateur career. Has a great professional career. Was the first Mexican heavyweight champion of the world. First. Yeah, all these years. We're in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And the first Mexican heavyweight champ. So that's saying a lot. So for him to come back and fight Andy Ruiz, for Mike Tyson to come back and fight Andy would be awesome.
Hey, remember when we used to box and we used to go in the alley?
Yes.
And okay, let me tell you, we'll go back to Andy Ruiz and Tyson in a second. But a thought just came to my head, and like I said, our podcasts are not very scripted. It's not very scripted. It's just we go sort of go off the cuff. So I remember we used to go in the alley, and I remember I came to San Pedro, and I met Dubs. And he's a boxer. So I said, hey, man, teach me how to box and stuff. Because I wanted to learn how to box in like New Jersey and Philadelphia, but to go to a gym in Philadelphia is like worth your life. Like, it's not like Rocky. Well, maybe it might be Rocky, but just Rocky and Added Power Brothers. That's all you got. Added Power Brothers.
Most gyms are like that. Anywhere you go.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all gyms. I mean, I've been to the gym in Brooklyn. What's that one? Gleason's. I've been to Gleason's. Gyms are gyms.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So it's the same, man. It's the same.
I mean, pretty much. You go to LA, you go deep in LA, and go to a little boxing, Broadway boxing gym. Yeah, they're grimy.
Grimy gyms?
Yeah, they're grimy.
Best boxers come from the thing. How about, have you ever been to Wild Card?
Been to Wild Card, yes. Freddie Roach. Yeah, that's not grimy. It's not grimy there. They have real pros there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have. You're not gonna. When you got real champions like Pacquiao and other champs that he trains there coming through, you're not gonna. It's not gonna be grimy. He has a clean gym. and they're sparring up, but professionals walking in and out. You walk up in there, you see champions coming and going, getting sparring sessions. So pretty fantastic.
That's incredible, man. I think didn't Pacquiao come out here and just walk to Wild Card Gym and ask Freddie Roach to train him?
I don't know the story, but I know they've been together for a long time.
Pacquiao's story is amazing. But so I remember I wanted to learn how to box in Philadelphia, New Jersey. So I moved to California. I met Dubs. I met Marty, 2Ds, and they're both boxers. So I said, hey, man, why don't you teach me how to box? He's like, okay, man, all right. So we used to go into an alley. Because at that time, there was no boxing ring or gym in San Pedro. So we used to go to the alley, and Dubs would put on one glove, and he'd let me have two. And he'd smoke a cigarette, and he would jab me to death.
When I used to smoke, but yeah, go ahead and continue.
He used to jab me to death. So I used to try to box. I had both gloves. He used to puff. What did you used to smoke?
Marlboro Lights.
Marlboro Lights. Oh, classy. Okay, Marlboro Lights. He used to smoke the Marlboro Lights in one hand, and he'd jab me to death in the other. It was so humiliating. It was one of the, and then D's used to be there too. So after he'd finish with me, he'd go over to D's. It was
Mardy's. Shout out. Go ahead.
Shout out to Marty's. It was like the triangle of death, just in a dark alley in San Pedro. San Pedro has a lot of alleys. I'm not used to really alleys in Jersey, but in the alleys, almost like catacombs. They kind of weave all through the city. Like, you don't ever even have to walk through the main streets. That's not even the point. So he used to murder us. So oh man, it's crazy.
That's interesting though. There's no alleys out where you're from.
No alleys.
That's crazy because I've been born and raised here. I'm used to alleys. We journey through alleys. So.
And it's the same because you don't ever have to go on the main streets. You can always walk through the alleys. Like San Pedro, you can drive through the alleys too. Like they drive through the alleys. They use them as main thoroughfares. So it's Pedro's a different place.
Usually when you're trying to avoid something, you drive through the alleys. So yeah, that's how it works.
Like when
you're creeping in the alley, you creeping. So.
Yeah, like when my registration wasn't paid, or I had a ticket or a suspended license, I'd go from here to Vaughn's through the alleys.
Oh yeah, hey, it's all good.
Yo, tell the story. I remember the one time you came to my house late at night. I think you came back from Hollywood or something, and there's a few good stories. Tell me the one when you knocked on my door. You came inside and you were breathing heavy, and you ran from the police to the alleys. Tell that.
Are you talking about with JG?
Yes.
Yeah. Long story. No, we were here in town actually, but long story short, Dave and I. Dave lived across the street from me. Judas?
Oh, you called me either one. It's okay.
Yeah. Judas lived across the street from me, literally just a block away. And it was me, JG, Marty, and that light-skinned guy. Who's that light-skinned kid? John was a psychopath. That was like the worst mulatto in the world. Just chubby, mad, and he's cocky. He was like a cocky white dude with like black guy strength. Yeah, he was weird. You had to watch him. He'll sneak one in on you. He'll try. So he was just angry. He hated me for whatever reason, but he was angry. But anyways, them three guys were with me. We had a little house party here in town, buddy of mine. That ended about 2:00, and then on the way, we're half a block away from Gaffey Street, the main street. So we pull, and we were drunk. All of us were drunk. I shouldn't have been driving in the first place. I mean, I'm drunk as whoever, and then we pull up to Gaffey. As soon as we pull up, 2 cop cars are driving by. The minute we pulled up to the stop sign, 2 cop cars just creep by. The first one goes past, the second one goes past, and then he throws a U-turn. Mm-hmm. So as soon as he throws a U-turn, I make a right. I'm literally 3 blocks from my house. So I make a right turn, and then a left turn on 22nd, and I'm speeding by that time. Yeah. He's already behind me. He turns the lights on. I'm a block and a half away. I'm like, no. So I run the stop sign. I make a right into the alley, and I'm hitting my garage door opener because I timed my garage. So it went up about halfway. And by the time I got to my garage, there's 2 entrances in the alley. Mm-hmm. You know, the front entrance and the back entrance. Both cop cars, one behind me, one in front. Mm-hmm. And my garage is in between them both. Mm-hmm. So the garage opens up halfway, and I sneak in and close it right behind them, and shuts. The cop cars stop. They stop right there, and go. I'm telling JJ, everybody to get out of the car, and they run. And They go into the house and go out through the front door, and I just go in the bathroom and then just waited. But yeah, JG and them went to your house.
Yeah.
And it took me about an hour because I thought I was going to jail. So I'm just waiting for them to come get me. You know, they all left. They were safe and sound. So I take a quick wash up and I change and I just waiting for the cops to pick me up. I'm thinking I'm done. They slowly disperse. About an hour later, they just slowly just peeled away. And at that time, I'm thinking, man, hold on a second. How they didn't even know it was me? I could say something. It wasn't me. I mean, they can't prove that it was me driving the car.
Exactly.
You know, so long story short, I started feeling better. I'm like, oh, I'm cool. They left. So I walked over to your house and everybody was there. And yeah, that's what happened, man. It's just a mission. But
that was some Mission Impossible stuff. That was incredible. That you ran for the cops to the alleys, and you already had your garage door open.
Yeah. Well, I opened as I was pulling in. I hit it because it'll open up from half a block away. So I was hoping that it went up. Touched it once. I'm like, please be rising. So when I got there, sure enough, Trusty was right there, boy, halfway open. I'm like, snuck in, shut it right behind me. It's beautiful.
Wow, like a second earlier, it was freeze. Put your hands on the wheel.
Oh, boy. I was going to jail. I had JJ. John was like 17, wasn't he? I don't know how old he was, but he was drunk. I don't. You know, the guy was this. I was going to jail. Marty wasn't a U.S. citizen.
Oh wow.
JG was wanted for whatever for petty theft. I mean, it was terrible. So
you had you. Then you had JG, who I used to constantly wear ankle bracelets.
Criminale Baptisto.
He used to constantly wear ankle bracelets.
Fragile deer. I mean, you name it. I mean, he's a buck now, but that's
he's like a moose elk. Like
he's like one of the legends. You know what I mean? One of the he's a monster.
I'm scared, man. I'm scared of JG, but that's an amazing. And they had
by the way, JG's 7'1".
7'1".
Fit inside my little IS 300 at the time. So yeah, my little Lexus.
Yo, it was amazing. JG Jolly is 7'1", and he could fit in the smallest places.
JG was fit. You know, that's funny. I was thinking about that like yesterday, like how JG used to just fold up, you know, get into a car with us. I'm like, damn, what you doing, JG?
He was like a transformer. JG he could fit into like me. I'm 6'2", and I can only fit into a space like 6. I need a lot of room, even to get into cars and stuff. JG, man, he would just he could fit anywhere, sleep anywhere, stand anywhere. Yeah, JG could stand in a grocery store. You wouldn't even know he's there. He'd be next to you.
That's crazy.
That's a talent, man.
That's crazy.
He's like what's that, Slender Man?
Yeah. He basically folded up. He'll fit in any little car. He's ready to roll. He didn't want. You know what it was? Is he didn't want to be left. I mean, early in life, he didn't want to be. His previous friends probably, you can't come, Brian. You're too tall. You can't fit in the car.
Can't fit in the car, Brian.
So he made sure he felt. All right, well, let's go. You jump in, fold up. He didn't fit in the back seat. I'm like, damn, JG, okay. He's 5 deep, and JG's one of them.
Remember, he used to sit at my table in my kitchen, and he'd sit against the wall. Like it wasn't like he had space. Somehow he'd make himself fit.
Well, you had a nook. You had a little nook in your kitchen, so to fit in a little nook, you got that's crazy.
Criminal Baptiste.
Yeah, criminale. Yeah.
JG, and we talked about it last time, but we're gonna rehash it now. The story of JG is legendary. JG, we used to call him Criminal Baptiste. And the way he got his name, Criminal Baptiste. Well, let me break it down first. And we said this last time. We'll just say it again. In San Pedro, near the Korean Bell, there's a basketball court. And like you said, it's a famous basketball court. There's many commercials.
Kobe's been in it.
Kobe has been international. I've seen many commercials, car commercials, clothes commercials, sports commercials. But if you ever see a basketball court overlooking the Pacific Ocean, that's I guess
kind of curved, kind of the hoops kind of curved, like the back post is kind of curved in. Yeah.
And it's very high. Like it's very high. It's not. I think it might be. It's over 10 feet.
11.
It has to be 11. Yeah.
Double rim.
And hard to shoot. I don't even know why you play up there. I mean, I think it's for
the breeze and the sunshine. That's why we was up there.
I
Yeah.
think they built it for the hostel because they got a hostel next door. So maybe the foreigners come over and shoot baskets. So I guess that's what it's for, the hostel. I've stayed in that hostel a few times. We'll talk about that another time. But so JG, he used to dunk on that. And it was the most amazing things. We were up there, we played basketball. I don't know why we went there to play basketball. We just went there to play basketball. So then another thing that we all used to do was late at night, we used to go down to San Pedro High School, and they have basketball courts down there. So Dubs would, he'd get a thing of hen. We go out to the basketball court and we start playing ball. Just take a little sip. We always had to mix it with some cherry Coke or some cherry Pepsi. I think it was cherry Pepsi used to be good. Yes. So he'd always drink the cherry Pepsi and we go and we play basketball.
Had to be cold.
Yeah, it had to be cold. It had
to be cold. We could never do it with warm Pepsi. So.
Yeah, I think we had to drink it out of ceramic cups. Yeah. We never drank anything with ceramic cups. No plastic. I've never drank with Dubs cheap liquor. Well, the only time we drink cheap liquor is if all our money started running low. We already got like two things of Hennessy. Hen is short for Hennessy, for all those who don't know. So at the end of the night, we get our money together. Like, hey man, how much you got? What's the next brand? Salonac.
It would still be cognac, but it would just be the lower brand of cognac. We had to jump it down to Salonac. Remember, Salonac was cool. We were like, Salonac? Let's get the Salonac.
Salonac was still
$18.95, same
boom.
bottle.
Still, and after you drink Hennessy, Salonac is not a far fall. So when we used to drink, we'll get back to the court thing. We used to drink, had to be cherry Pepsi, had to be cold, had to be in ceramic cups. It was almost like a special. And I'm talking about this would be outside, inside. We never hit it. Then we almost like gentlemen. It always had to be, when we used to drink Hennessy, it was never like, it was always sort of like a ritual. It was always ritualistic. And, we drink the Hennessy. Dubs would pour it most of the times, because he bought it. I know you're gonna buy it because you know not to let me go on my own devices. You gonna let me go on my own devices? I'm gonna fill half a cup. Right. And Dubs learned that. He learned it the hard way when he met me at first. Like, yo, this dude needs limitations, and I'm gonna give him limitations. But he's not gonna break it down in the getaway. He's just gonna it's like chess.
I'm trying to make it last. That's all. I'm trying to make it last.
So we'd hit the Hennessy and we'd play basketball. And like you said, I wish you guys could have heard the last podcast episode because, man, we were just gonna rehash some of the moments. But Jolly never drank. We were the only ones drinking. Me, Dubs, and D's. That was just our ritual, man. Every we drink during the summertime and go play basketball. I got a little rough. I couldn't help myself. I get a little crazy sometimes on the liquor. We talked about that off mic, off air. And this was in my wild days when I don't know, I was a crazy guy. So, but anyway, Jolly, we were playing on 21, and Jolly dunked on all of us. And after he dunked on us, he made a sign of the cross, and I was like, oh man, Criminal Baptist, because I believe Brian is, if you go to San Pedro, one thing about San Pedro's, I don't know if it still is, it's a mostly Croatian, Italian, and Mexican. Old school Mexican, like back to the 30s Mexican neighborhood. So they used to call it Mexican Hollywood. They used to call San Pedro,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Mexican Hollywood. Because they said that the women used to come out and wear these robes, so they look like Hollywood stars.
Nice.
So everybody in San Pedro has been here longer than anybody else, they were here with the Italians and the other Europeans who came over.
Beautiful.
So, but he's Muslim actually. Did you know B's Muslim?
No, I didn't know that.
Charlie's Muslim. He's Herzegovian. Huh. Herzegovian. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, he's not Bosnian or Croatian. See, it's mostly Croatians here, but like you were saying last time, no matter, they all get along. But he told me he's Herzegovian, so he's basically the black Yugoslavian.
No, they got beef. They always had beef. Even growing up with the Cordages and my little team there. They beef with the Serbs and the Yugoslavs and the Croatians. They still got beef. They always beefing. So the beef. They're all the same people, but they be beefing.
And carries to San Pedro, so they still, even though they're American and stuff like that, you still see little. Because Jolly would talk trash on. But him and Jack got along. I think Jack is Croatian.
Yeah. JT is from his family comes from the poor side of Yugoslavia, I believe. And I grew up with his uncle, Tony. Used to call him the Rat. The boy can hoop too. So hoop is in their family. JT.
In their blood.
Most Croatians, most Yugoslavs, most they got skills. They all have skills. And Duncan. And Duncan. I mean, you can't sleep on them.
No,
think about all the Croatians and Yugoslavs that we played with. The Kordiches. All them cats. Eh?
Kordic, I could not stand Danny Kordic, man. He was so cocky. He was the cockiest dude
That's my boy
in the
right
world.
There. Yeah, Danny's a beast though. Danny, he was smooth. Smooth character, man. Danny hit his shot. His brother Alan was a monster, the model.
Yeah.
Alan was a straight model, looked like Superman, but he's a beast.
A rough European, look, these guys didn't fear. Like usually, if you because a lot of guys from Long Beach, a lot of brothers would come up from Long Beach, and a lot of Mexican guys would come out from like Lomita and stuff like that. And they're rough characters, not rough, but they played rough basketball. But the Cordages also played rough basketball. So Alan,
it did bump.
He'd go down with you.